First of all, thank you invitation. Big greetings from Zagreb to the whole France and globally for those watching the France 24 in English. Sorry for the semi-finals. I was actually personally present in Moscow. It was a fantastic atmosphere, great match, and as I said earlier, it just takes to score one goal more. This time it was Croatia, and this has enabled us to go even further than we were in the semi-finals in 1998 in a memorable World Cup which was held in France. So everybody is very excited, looking forward for the match.
People talk about this could be your chance for revenge for that semi-final in 1998 when France knocked you out, but I suspect it's a different time, it's a very different game, isn't it?
Well, you have to be aware that for the Croats, the semi-finals in France, in Paris in '98, it's like a match that we could all sort of retell, relive with every single minute that passed, with two passes which were not perfect and two goals of Lilian Thuram. So I guess for an average Croat who follows football, an average Croat today is probably every single Croat living in Croatia and abroad. There is a huge diaspora and they have been strongly supporting our team. We feel this is a great time for a sports occasion to take the rematch in a very fair manner. I think France has a brilliant team. They've been playing excellently throughout the tournament, but we have been playing fantastically. We have the players in the best teams in the European leagues, in France, in Spain, in Italy, in Germany, in England. They have been the most critical and central players in their teams. They're in best stage, physically completely fit, mentally concentrated. They have a great coach. Zlatko Dalic has managed to create a very coherent atmosphere among the group, and that shows. I was with them. There is really esprit de corps which you can feel among the Croatian players, and with the enthusiasm and support of the entire nation, our hopes are really great.
I spoke with Slaven Bilic about '98, and obviously he spoke of the disappointment about what happened then. And Slaven Bilic, indicative of this knack you have in Croatia of creating great sports people. It's not just this year, it's over the years. So I wonder what the secret is. How does a small country develop so many top-level sports stars? What's the Croatian secret?
Well, Slaven Bilic, certainly both as a player and a member of the team from '98 and later on a national coach, trainer in England, is one of those talents that our system has managed to produce. I have to admit that there is a lot of talent in the collective sports in Croatia. We are obviously today extremely well known from football perspective, but we have for decades fantastic results in handball, in water polo. We are actually one of those basketball nations, and I think it is, first of all, the talent, which is not only imminent for the Croats, but many of our neighbors here, and also the schools of trainers and the good work that somehow produces so many good players that later on make their careers internationally. So now we have the chance to have a generation where everything really was put at the right moment, at the right place, with the right atmosphere, excellent strategy, and the results are there. And I think the team is really focused on, and the most of all, which is really good for, is this generation has a mentality of a champion, and winning mentality is something that was perhaps lacking before, but this generation is really distinct because of that particular feature.
As an English supporter, as an Englishman, I will not argue with anything you're saying. The way Croatia dealt with England was highly professional, and I think from the time the second half began, there was no doubting what the result was going to be, sadly for me. But obviously great for you and great for Croatia. I wonder whether being a member of the EU has helped Croatia develop its sport. Has that created an emphasis on creating facilities, giving children opportunities to take part?
Well, sports is actually within the national competencies of each member state, but the fact that European Union states actually came, 4 of them, into the semi-finals shows how strong sports is within the EU member states compared to the global atmosphere. But it is true that young children here are motivated for sports. They always join either a school club or a club in their neighborhood. We have good selection process, and And even though being a nation of only 4 million, there is always a good triage that the top players reach the levels of the play which we have seen with our national team. What we need to do is actually do a little bit more when it comes to the successes of our clubs in our league, because all of our best players sooner rather than later actually go and play abroad. The freedom of movement has made this go a little bit faster than before.
So in terms of creating...
trainer schools are very important, it's true.
Indeed, that's the thing, developing the players, giving children a chance to play the game. That's how things develop, and that's a really important factor. It's something England, I think, has fallen foul of with the selling off of playing fields, for instance. You know, the football pitches I played on as a child, they're now houses and shops. They don't exist anymore, and I think England has suffered from that. But it seems that you've managed to sort of create opportunities for children to play, and that is the central thing, isn't it? Giving children the chance to play.
Yeah, we are actually contemplating even how to improve all our sporting federations, how to improve the system of financing, how to keep the kids really interested in sports, and how to give them a chance to attain the level of quality which then becomes recognized internationally, and it's followed by successes at various international championships. This generation has a fantastic talent, and I think even if they're a mix of an individual will, investments of their parents, their families, the clubs where they started to work, it is also the general spirit of dedication to sports that clearly exists in our country. That is something we can be certainly proud of, and I have to admit, generation of '98, which was led by then coach who is an emblematic figure in our sports, Ciro Blažević, and now today Zlatko Dalić with a new spirit, they have given a special aura to this two fantastic football generations that we have, and we are privileged to watch them actually and hope for the best on Sunday.
Prime Minister Plenković, I cannot let you go without asking you for a prediction for the scoreline. I think I know who you think is going to win. What score will it be?
Yes. Yeah, I have to admit, with all the respect for the French team, with my affection for France, my friend, the President Macron, I spent 5 years of my life living in Paris. It's a country I know really very well, and I have great compliments for plenty of features of France and the team. I'm here cheering for Croatian team for the historic chance to become the world champions, and I've already said in the semi-finals, the one goal could and will make a difference. I hope in this case for Croatia, just as 4 million Croats living here and all the Croats abroad, but also the countries in our neighborhood who are cheering for us and having identified them with the success of a nation of our size.
Excellent. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković of Croatia, wearing the shirt with pride. Thank you for your sporting nature. Thank you for your insight.
Exactly.
And thank you for your time, most of all. I hope you enjoy the final.
Thank you. Yes, we are living the Croatian dream, and we hope it will materialize on Sunday in Moscow.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much for this
my hopes
invitation.
are with you too, and also with my French friends. All I can say is that may the best team win. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Absolute pleasure speaking to you. That was the Prime Minister of Croatia, Andrej Plenković, giving us his thoughts on the final, France versus Croatia on Sunday, of course. Full coverage, analysis and reaction for you, of course, on the day, in the warm-up, and, of course, afterwards here on France 24 in all our languages, French, English, Spanish, Arabic.